19 ISMO 10 has asked, right? Hey, you're currently in the meeting, right?
No,
Whoever
online,
is
not in the meeting.
what? Keshan?
I don't think she's there in the meeting.
There is a join now option, right? Like all the others join through that. Uh, Srini Bhai, would you like to say something?
Nothing, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, respond. Where are you all from? Are you guys on your break or something? Semester break or summer break? Delhi. That's nice.
For the record,
Which
the three
school
of
or
us are
college?
from Chennai.
Okay, Odisha. Nice. Hyderabad. Lucknow. We have a variety of audience here. Punjab. That's very nice. You can't hear the audio. Is everyone able to hear us? 23 F3003078 can't hear. Maybe
Hello.
try rejoining the meeting.
Hello. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Hello. Adal hai kya data?
Ma'am, actually, I am facing a problem regarding downloading the Microsoft Teams on my PC. Actually,
Can you do it from
Okay.
browser?
yes, I did it from the browser, but something is showing in my system that it doesn't support MSIX file something, uh, and the Microsoft Teams is in MSIX something file configuration.
Oh yeah, then it's probably your laptop is probably an older. MSIX
Yeah,
is not supported on all systems. Yeah, just use
yeah,
your
yeah,
browser.
yeah. So what I have to do now?
Just attend through your browser. It doesn't matter.
Attend through browser.
Like, how are you attending right now?
Sorry,
How are you attending right now?
I'm attending through my phone.
On. Asmita,
What exactly was the problem? Can you repeat again?
he
Hello.
can't install Teams on his laptop because that file format is not supported.
Did you follow all the steps mentioned in the document?
Yeah, I did it. I did everything, but it is always showing that your system is not supporting this file MSIX, which is the Teams is in MXIS file MSIX.
Yeah. So
File.
for downloading Teams, you'll have to go to your settings and look at your system type. That was a step mentioned in the document, right? So if you do not
I did it.
download the, yeah, okay.
I did it. It's in x64. Okay, I was downloading x64, but it was getting downloaded. I am unable to install the file on the app on my PC. Actually, I wasn't. Do you get me? Actually,
If your
Yeah.
laptop is if your laptop is a 32-bit system, you will need to download the X32 installer.
my PC is in x64 system.
Okay, do one thing, attend this meeting through your phone. And then after
Yeah.
this meeting, we'll sort this out.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Everything we do is on the browser, so you can do that on your laptop side by side.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can do everything, but I have to join the meeting through my phone. Okay, that's okay. No problem.
Yeah, guys, you can also feel free to unmute and talk now if you want to introduce yourself or something. Where are you from? I got to know the places. Which school or colleges are you guys from? Let's start at
Hello.
2:05. We'll just wait for everyone. Yeah, Aditya.
I am Alikho actually.
Can you come again? What?
I am Alikho actually. You asked me, no, that's why I told you. Matlab, I
Okay,
didn't
okay, okay.
introduce
Yeah,
me,
go on.
and
Where are you from?
I am from Kolkata actually.
School or college?
I am in college actually, first year.
Oh, nice. Which college?
I am from Surendranath Evening College,
Nice, nice. Okay.
and I am doing a BSc in electronics.
Oh, that's nice. You'll get to learn a good bunch of electronics here. Bhavesh will
Yeah,
take electronics as well for you. And
I'm
not
looking
Yeah,
only
forward
that,
to
you'll
it.
also get to implement it in real life. Like the projects that you're gonna be learning electronics towards will be implementation in real life. So it wouldn't just
Oh,
be
that
some theoretical stuff. You'll get to work on cool practical things.
actually, ma'am, I asked you one question on the chat that how please make introduce us to the how to use Google Colab and that Tinkercad
Yeah.
and
We'll
that
be
also.
doing that right now. In the session, we'll be doing that. I had mentioned in the WhatsApp channel, right? That link was
Yeah, yeah.
just for you to get a prior knowledge on how Collab looks. We'll be guiding you on how to use Collab in this meeting.
Okay.
Tinkercad also will be guiding you in the meeting. Do not worry, we'll provide all the steps. This session is for everyone. Like you don't have to have any prior knowledge. We'll provide you with everything.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Hello. Hello, ma'am, and hello, sir.
Hello.
Myself, Pari Sahu from NIT Allahabad, Electronics and Communication Engineering.
Hi, Parisahu. Which year are you in?
Ma'am, can you please repeat what you are
Which
saying?
year are you in?
Ma'am, I've just completed my first year.
Okay, that's cool. Anyone else would like to go with their intros?
Hello, ma'am. I'm Sri Purni from Sri Ishwar College of Engineering, Tamil Nadu.
Hello.
Hello. I have currently completed my second year and I am doing my internship at NIT Trichy.
Oh, okay, that's great. Guys, we've sent a link in the WhatsApp channel. A lot of you are asking how to join, right? Please join using that. If you click on that link, there will be a join option that will pop up in the top. Or what you can do is open this channel in your MS Teams. Come to session 1 and then click on this meeting and click on join. Click on that post. Once you click on that post, you should be able to come to this meet. I've sent you a screenshot of how it looks. Are you able to join now? No, it's not a problem in S-Mail Teams issue. We've added all of you manually. You should be able to join following the method. See, just whatever this person has, why Mohan, right? I've sent a screenshot. Please follow that, everyone. There's a join option right at the top. You can easily join the meeting. Is it sorted for everyone? Yeah, okay, cool. So since it's 5 to 6 already, let's start with our summer school. For those who do not, who are asking how to join, please look at the screenshot. Yeah, okay. So everyone, welcome to InnovateX Summer School. This is the official intro we're giving. Everything that was taking place was an informal talk before this. So as I had mentioned in our WhatsApp channel, we have curated this content for you so that you have the best learning experience. This is for everyone. You do not have to have any prior technical experience. Before we proceed further, we'll introduce ourselves. I am Asmita, head of Sahaay in IITM. I'm an electrical engineer in I completed my second year. I'm going to my third year now. So we also have Bhavesh with us, a coordinator from Sahaay. Bhavesh will introduce himself.
So hi everyone, I'm Bhavish. So I'm pursuing my electrical engineering and IT Madras. I'm a coordinator at Sahaay. So happy to be with you today.
I'm
And we also
Keshav.
have Keshav.
I'm Keshav. In my going to second year, I'm also in electrical engineering in IITM.
Okay. So by the end of this summer school, you will be able to solve multi-module problems in all the three domains, software, electronics, and mech. So it wouldn't just be that you have one specific domain knowledge. You'll be able to practically apply everything that you are learning and use it in a final problem statement. We'll be releasing the problem statements for the projects in the middle of the sessions. So you'll also be allocated a mentor from our team. Our mentors will help you have a smooth flow in the ideating for the problem statement. So that's about our plan for this summer school. Let's begin with design thinking. Bhavesh will introduce you to this new concept that is very important in innovation. It plays a crucial role for anyone who wants to take part in ideating and innovating.
Yeah, I'll share my screen right now. So I hope everyone is able to see the screen. So if you're able to see the screen, please say yes in the chat.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, so everybody is able to see it, right? Okay. Right then. So we'll start with design thinking. So as Asmita told, the first part of the session is going to be design thinking and be taken by me. I'm Bhavish. So coming to design thinking is a very interesting topic and it's a super important topic as well. So if you take any company in the world like Apple or Uber or anything, it uses some form of design thinking, right? So if you're going to work as a product manager or you're going to design something or you're going to work in any field related to innovation, design thinking is going to be a crucial part of it. So let's actually see what it is. So these are going to be the objectives of this session. You can go through it. So we are going to start design thinking with a small case study. So this case study is about the solar panel project in India. So this project was initiated in 2015 by the government of India. So it was to address the environmental degradation due to the conventional electricity methods like burning coal and stuff. So it was made to address that and had a target of achieving 1,000 gigawatts in solar capacity by the end of 2022. And it was a very ambitious project and a very challenging project as well. This is mainly because uh, the installation cost of the solar panel is quite expensive in here. So it's around 3 to 4 lakhs if you want to satisfy your daily electricity needs. So it is very high compared to the monthly electricity bills that we pay every day. So it was quite high, and so there's a big challenge for the government to convince the 1 billion plus people in India to actually invest their money in solar panels. Most of them being actually in middle class. So this is the
Avish,
exact situation. Yes.
Avish, there's an issue with this meeting. Asmita will create a new meeting. Can all of you guys join that?
Yeah, guys.
We're
We'll
very
be creating a
sorry.
new
We're very sorry for this for the technical issues. Yeah, so please join the new meeting.
guys, we'll be continuing in the other meeting, so please join there.
Guys, let's wait for everyone to join in. A lot of people are facing technical issues. So we just wait for 5 minutes, and once it stabilizes, we'll start with the meeting. You're unable to hear now. Can any of you hear me, Bhavesh? Can you confirm?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is the final session one. We put the link in the channels.
I will delete the old.
You are muted.
Yeah. For everyone asking, the current session has been pinned. The problem was because one of you had started another meeting as a guest instead of joining the original meeting. Yeah, so for everyone new here, we'll start with the intro again. So welcome to Sahaay Summer School 2024. I'm Asmita, head of Sahaay, the Social Innovation Club. In this series of 8 sessions, you learn to do practical projects in software, mechanical, and electronics. So we have Bhavesh with us, the coordinator of Sahaay. He'll be teaching you design thinking. And we also have Satyapriya here. She's the other head of Sahaay. We have Keshav with us, who will be teaching you software. Wait, is everyone able to hear me? Someone just confirm.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, good. So let's start with the session without any further delays because it's kind of getting late. Bhavesh will start with design thinking. For those of you who are not in the previous session, it's a very interesting concept which all the innovators use. All in major companies like Google, Tesla, Instagram, Twitter, all of them use this design thinking. With this design thinking, you can start your journey in innovation. So yeah, Bhavesh will start now. Have fun learning, guys.
So hi everyone. So I'll be taking the course of the session, which is going to be design thinking. So to introduce myself, I am Bhavesh. I am doing electrical engineering at IIT Madras, and I'm a coordinator at Sahaay. So let's start the meeting without any delay. So design thinking. So it's a very interesting topic. As Asmita said, it's a very important topic as well. If you're going to uh, Uh, yeah, actually, someone just removed me from the meeting. I would like to know who was that. Yeah, am I audible actually?
We should go on. Uh, I'm
It's audible,
messaging
bro.
Asmita.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, so if you're
Yeah, you are
in any
audible
field,
actually.
yeah, thank you. So if you're in any field which is related to innovation or product designing, so design thinking is going to be a crucial part of that. So let's actually see what it is. So these are going to be your objectives today, and this is what you're going to learn. So you can go through it. So let's start learning about design thinking with a small case study. This is about the solar panel project in India. So the solar panel project was initiated by government in 2015 to address the environmental degradation due to conventional electricity production methods like burning coal. So it initially had a target of uh, generating 100 gigawatt of solar capacity by the year of 2022. So it was a very ambitious project, and it's a quite challenging one also. Because mainly because the solar panels aren't so affordable. So the cost of fixing a solar panel in a house would be about 3-4 lakhs.
You're muted.
Okay, I'm in mute, right? S-
Sir, can you explain like, the line of from 100 gigawatts?
Oh, fine. Yeah, fine. Yeah. So solar panel project had initially had a target of 100 gigawatts. So it was a very ambitious project and a very challenging project for the government. It was mainly because the cost of fixing solar panel in a house is a bit expensive. It takes 3 or 4 lakhs, sometimes even more to install a solar panel in a house, which is quite high, tremendously high compared to the electricity bills that we pay every month. So the government had to convince the 1 billion plus population of India who are mainly middle class to actually invest their money in installing solar panels. So it was quite a challenging process for the government, and they had to motivate the people to do it for the benefit of the environment and society. So this is exactly where design thinking comes in, and you bump into design thinking at all different places, not only in companies and products, also in this kind of government projects and even in propagation of certain ideas. So this is where design thinking is going to be important. So let's actually see how government of India dealt with it. So I'm audible, right? Yeah, fine. So the first thing they did was they gave 40% subsidy on installations the for middle and poor class households. So it reduced the burden a lot. And the second thing they did was they gave additional money for excess electricity that you generate, which means if your solar panels generate extra electricity which you're not using, the government will buy it for you at a quite a good price. So by this, you're not only satisfying your electricity needs, but you're also making a profit out of it. So it
Sir, your
gained a lot.
camera is off.
Okay, yeah, fine, thank you. Yeah, my screen is also not sharing.
By which
Okay, guys, whoever is messing with the camera and this thing, ensure that you do not do this.
And I'm not having this share
This is the
option now.
last warning. Please do not do this. This is not funny.
I think you have to make everyone at least, yeah. But I'm not having the share option right now. I'm not able to share. I'm not. S-
Is the screen sharing off?
yeah, now I'm able to
yeah,
share.
one. Give us a few minutes. We're
Your
trying to
screen
sort it
sharing
out.
off.
Shall I continue now?
Yeah,
Everything
now
fine.
visible.
Yeah.
Okay, so if the sharing stops or if my mic is mute or camera is out, please tell me immediately. Yeah, fine, let's continue. Okay,
Sir,
I'll start.
can you continue? Sir, can you continue in the line 40% subsidies?
Yeah,
From
fine.
there
Okay.
you are not visible.
Okay, thank you. So the 40%, the first thing the government did was the 40% subsidy. So they will pay 40% of the installation cost for you. It was it removed a lot of burden for the poor and middle class also. And the second thing they did was uh, they, they gave additional money for excess electricity output, which means if you generate excess electricity from your solar panel, the government will actually buy it for you. And from this, you're actually, apart from satisfying your own needs, you're also making profit out of it, and it gained a lot of attraction. And this was quite a successful project. The energy capacity of India increased by 30 times in the past 9 years, and it's currently at 81 gigawatts. So, so now I hope you guys have understood what the importance of design thinking is. And so now let's actually proceed to see what are the steps of design thinking. So the first basic thing is before going to design thinking is product design. Product design is a series of trivial steps that you have to do to build your product from scratch. So the first thing you will do is you'll identify the market opportunity. If you have any potential opportunity in your market, you have to identify that. The second thing is you have to define a problem statement. You have to specify each specific of the problem that you are trying to solve. And thirdly, you develop a proper solution with whatever technology you have, you find the best solution out of that. And third, you build a prototype and test how it works. So this is the basic product design. But is it actually that simple to build a product? So, no, right? Obviously, it's not such a direct, straightforward process. So what other things can be considered while designing a product? So that's where design thinking comes in. That's our design thinking. So I would like you guys to scan this QR code, and before I explain the steps in design thinking, I want you guys to guess what will be the steps of design thinking. So you can scan this QR code, and I will also drop the link for it in the chat box. Yeah, 1 second.
Bhavish, screen sharing on.
Yeah. One
Okay.
second. So I guess everybody got the link. I'll present it. Yes, Sahaay, nice answer. 95 and show, yeah. Think about this thing, yes. I'm getting a lot of good answers here. So empathize is what most of people are saying. Yeah, achieve friend. Okay, friend. Obviously, ask your friend. Yeah, good idea. Product, creating pros, management. Yes, debating. Very good point. Feasibility. Yes, planning, testing, evaluation, analysis, prototype. Yes, knowledge of the market. Yeah, very important one. Sketches. Yes, creativity. Yes, market potential. Yes. Yeah, feedback, another important thing that we're going to discuss today. Yeah, guys are really good. So that's exactly it. So let's see about design thinking in detail, more detail now. So for that, we'll see why design thinking. So I hope you guys have already understood why uh, design thinking is important. But let me see what are other points of why design thinking. So one thing that is on the user side, it'd be very beneficial for user side because you can be more innovative and you apply design thinking and at the end will be very beneficial for the users. That's one. And it also improves the innovation of the project, which in turn helps the society as well. That's the importance of design thinking. So now let's go into the actual steps of design thinking. Yeah. So the first thing is empathy. So it was what many of you guys said. Empathy is understanding your user's needs and preference, which means you're going to put yourself in the shoes of your customer and try to figure out what do they expect. How could we make their lives more easier? So that's the important first step of design thinking. We actually encounter that in our daily lives a lot. You can see a lot of companies asking for feedbacks and ratings. So that comes under empathy, where you interact with your customers and try to figure out what would be the best for them. That's about empathy. And second thing is define. This was also a popular opinion among you guys. So you create a proper problem statement of what you're trying to solve, and yeah, that's what defining. And then you're going to ideate. So you're going to check all the technical possibilities that you have, and you're going to choose which one is going to be best for them. Then you prototype. You create a simple working model or a sketch or anything, and you prototype your idea and see how it works. And you're going to test the prototype, and then finally you're going to publish. So this is the basic outline of design thinking. So, but it's actually design thinking is such a linear process. If you do just step by step, will you get the output? No, it's actually not a linear process. It's quite very twisted process. So sometimes you just test a prototype and it doesn't work. So you again go back to ideation, come up with a different idea. Again, you build a new prototype. Again, test it and go back. And maybe while testing, you might get an idea to solve a new problem. So you go back to empathy, and again you define your problem statement, and it's a whole complicated process. So so design thinking is not a linear process at all. So then we come to the product triad, which are the very important features of product design. The first thing is product, which refers to the market viability of the product of the design you're producing, like how much saturation of the market, how much opportunity you have for the particular product. And the tech is the feasibility of the project, whether yeah. So whether you have the enough tech to build your project and is it feasible and profitable for you? Yeah, yeah. And the third thing is you're going to build the design. So design is more about how you make your project more appealing to the society and how you're going to make your consumers want your product. So that's about designing, and these three constitute most of the projects. So again, design thinking, if you go into more detail, you have 7 different steps. So these are mostly of what you already saw. So let me go through it quickly. The first thing is need. So you're going to identify your customer and the need for your product. You analyze your product problem, and you prepare the specifications that you're going to include in your product. Then you're going to generate a solution and possibly several solutions, and then you're going to select the most optimal solution out of it. Then you're going to produce a design, but not directly. You're going to first prototype it. You're going to make diagrams, so drawings and models, uh, and you choose the best one of them, and then you're going to actually make a building working model which is feasible and usable by the public. So these are the 7 steps in designing. So the next thing you have to consider in product designing, it's a very important thing, is the customer journey map. So it is something where you track each instance of contact with your company with the customers. So it starts from actually empathy only, where you interact with the customers and find out what they need. And secondly, through feedbacks and reviews that you get from your customers once you use the product. And this will help you to boost your company a lot. And coming to the next, and this is another very important aspect of product designing, which is product differentiation. So in current market, you can see a lot of companies in every field. So it's more about how you're going to differentiate yourself and make your product stand out from the other alternatives available in the market. So then, so that's product differentiation. So next, you're going to come to an interesting part where we're going to see some real world examples of design thinking. So again, I wanted to ask you guys, uh, what like just to name some companies or ideas and products which you feel have implemented the design thinking principles effectively. So you can again scan this QR code. I'll drop the link in the chat box as well, and you can put out your answers. Yeah, I'll share now. So you guys are able to see, right? You can scan the QR code and also I have dropped the link in the chat box. It's a great example. Apple, Netflix, yeah. So given yes, Apple is dominating. And oh yes. Also, can you guys put in the chat box what you find interesting or more attractive about a particular company that you're liking? And feel free to share your views about that. The chat box. Gemini. Yeah, I prefer ChatGPT though. NVIDIA, yeah, it's very dominating company. Feel Red Taxi, Meta, OpenAI, yeah, Cathlon, great examples. Flipkart. I see Apple dominating a lot. Martin says, I love how NVIDIA has taken over GPU market and set up. That's very true, and they are leading in the innovation in that field. So they have made great chips for us to work on. Yeah, Athni Power, yes, it's another good example. Athni Power, steel, yeah, another very different kind of startup here. Apple, yeah, classic example. Yeah, NVIDIA has been leading the field for so long now. That's very true, Raham. So yeah, so I guess let's move on and see the examples, couple of examples that I made.
Sir, your camera is off screen share.
So it's actually blank, right? I don't know why it's blank.
Yeah, it's fine, but screen share is off as well.
Instagram, yeah, another good example. So let's move on. So yeah, and the Apple, like, it was the most dominant answer that you guys gave. So Apple is have been dominating the market for so long. And the best thing about them is they try to keep everything simple and for the users. Their presentations are very simple, and they also are good in creating mystery and hyper on their projects. I guess most of you guys have seen the uh, reinventing the smartphone speech by Steve Jobs. Like it's really a remarkable one. I guess most of you have seen it. Right? Has anyone seen it? Yeah. So Apple is really good at this thing. Can they see their tagline as well? Just simply think different. Yeah. And actually, Apple has actually become a status quo as well, apart from as a product. Yeah. Also, have you guys seen the movie Steve Jobs? So it's an excellent movie. Actually, it takes you behind the scenes of how Apple came to be a multi-million dollar business under the leadership of Steve Jobs. If you haven't seen that, I would recommend you to see that. It's a very nice movie. Yeah, I see many people have seen that. That's great. A second example is in Uber. So Uber have exploited the communication gap between the taxi drivers and auto drivers and the customers. So they have made public transportation very convenient and accessible and also very cost effective. And it's also an excellent demonstration of design thinking. So, okay. So I guess, yeah, that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this session well. And now we'll have Keshav taking direction to Python for you. So, Keshav, will you take over?
Yeah. Wait, no. Before that, do you guys
Yeah.
have any doubts at all in design thinking?
Yeah, we could
Feel free
should
to
ask.
feel free to either put it up on chat or unmute and ask.
I loved how you guys were very interactive throughout the session.
Yeah, I saw a lot of you putting in your responses and everything in chat. It's great that you have this much into. Someone says, Kanishk, you have something to tell us? You have a doubt? Okay, I think you raised your hand by mistake. Okay, that's fine. Does anyone else have any doubts?
So,
Then
What do you
it's
mean
regarding
current dot bunny? Yeah, go on.
then it's regarding only problem solving skills only, or regarding the product or anything else.
so it's about actually from scratch how you understand the users and also how you solve all the problems which comes in a way. And also how you portray a product to the customers. So that's and actually we are Sahaay, we are the social innovation club. So we make product which are going to create a social impact. So for us, design thinking is again a very relevant topic for us. So that's why we are doing it here. I hope your doubt is clear.
But if somebody's asked about linear process of design thinking, how it's not linear.
Yeah. So go to the slide.
Uh,
Uh, I'd like to say a few things about this as well. So you've asked how it's not linear, right? When you move from one step to another, you can't see once you empathize to define a problem, and then say you move on to the prototyping stage. But then once you go to the prototyping stage, you'll be able to find out a new problem or new point of view that the user is facing. So in that step, it's important for you to come back and repeat the design thinking process again. Once you come to the prototype stage and you find a new POV of the user, it's very important for you to integrate it into design thinking. You get what I mean, right? Who asked this doubt? The thumbs up is from the person who asked the doubt, I suppose. Okay, Bhavesh, you carry on.
Okay. So Karan has another doubt. Okay, I think he got okay. So it's asking design thinking is just about problem solving skill or how we design the solution regarding the problem. It's actually It's actually both. It's about how you deal with the problem as well, and also how you design the solutions. Yeah, it's about both.
Yeah. Uh, Also, see, the problem with a lot of solutions that are being done is people come up with a solution and then try to fit it up to a problem. This is done by a lot of engineers. They want to come up with some fancy technology, put it up to some problem and fit it as the solution. But design thinking is not for that. Design thinking is you come up with a problem, see what exactly the user needs, and then come up with a solution. You get the difference between both the methods, right? Of problem solving. So you've asked, how do we get user needs and feedback as a mere student for your idea? We can get that through surveys. There are a lot of surveys available. Also, when you're practically working on projects, say what we do is we do field testing, but that is a job of our club. In this, you'll be using survey reports. Madan, Madan ESV, what do you mean? Solution should be for an existing problem as in?
I think that's confirmation of what you said.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
हाँ क्यों
Yeah, you're right.
तो मीटिंग में काम करते कुछ
Yeah, Bhavish, you carry on. Do you guys have any other questions? Or we can move on to software. Shall we move on to software? Yep, okay. Keshav, you can take over.
Okay. Bhavish, screen share.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so now we're going to be taking the software module. In today's session, I will be teaching you Python, and in subsequent sessions, we will be learning NumPy and OpenCV. We use Python a lot in Sahaay. We do computer vision, deep learning, machine learning. Pretty much all the work we do, it involves a lot of Python. In this series of lectures in the software module, you guys will be learning face recognition. You will be doing a lot of cool stuff in OpenCV. I won't spoil it for you, but we will have a lot of fun. So that said, today's session is going to be the absolute fundamentals of Python. If you guys have never done programming before, this session is a great time to learn the basics of Python. I will be taking data types, flow control, functions, etc. If you guys are already, if you okay, voice is clear now or still breaking? Bhavish?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you guys already know the basics of Python, you're skilled in Python, you guys can leave now. We'll take attendance and we will send you the assignment for this lecture. But my recommendation is stay and watch the lecture. It will be fun. So yeah, that said, let's get started with the session. Okay, so you guys can see my screen now. Bhavish, Asmita.
Yeah, it's also.
We can see your
Okay.
screen.
So yeah, what I want you guys to do is open up your browser and go to colab.research.google.com. We have sent this link in the WhatsApp group as well. I'll send it in the meeting chat. So when you open Colab, you should be greeted with this interface. What I want all of you to do is create a new notebook, a blue button in the bottom right corner. So you guys will see a blank Python notebook. So what is Colab? Colab is this Google server that's hosted by Google. They have Python installed on their servers and they make it remotely available. So from anywhere in the world, you can run Python in your browser with zero installation. And that is really convenient for this lecture because now there's no setup involved. All you need is a Google account. So once you create your notebook, give it a name like session 1 or something, and you can type code in cells like these and hit the run button to execute them. So for this session, I've created a Google Colab notebook that I will be teaching from. As I teach, what I'd like you to do is take snippets of code from the notebook, write them in your own notebook that you've just created, run it, play around with the code, see what happens, ask doubts. So is that clear? No issues with using Collab, right? Yeah, Asmita, can you take attendance right now?
Yeah, Keshav is taken.
Okay.
Yeah, we took it. If you guys know all the basics, you can do. But see, yeah, Keshav has curated some nice content for you. It'll be nice if you can just stay for a few minutes, listen to him, and go off. If you find it too, if you find the fact that you know everything about what he's teaching, you can leave. But else, just stay and listen to him for a while.
Okay. So once again, welcome to Sahaay summer school session. This is officially the start of the software module. So today I'll walk you through some very short theory in Python, and then we'll go straight into programming, I/O, input, output, data types, variables, flow control, and functions. Python is a very popular language. It was released over 30 years ago by this guy called Guido van Rossum. It is a general purpose programming language. We use it for absolutely everything. We do machine learning in it. There are a lot of popular scientific computing and machine learning libraries written in it. We do web development in it. Embedded systems programming, you can do that with Python. Even part of the Linux kernel is written in Python. The Linux operating system makes use of Python in its code base. Python has When you guys go through the Python programs that I've written for you guys today, you will see that the syntax is very much like English. So it's very easy to pick up and learn. It's a great language for beginners to study as a first programming language. There is one drawback though. Python, because of all this flexibility, Python turns out to be very slow. So normally what we programmers do is some really skilled programmer somewhere out there will write libraries in C, which is a very fast language, and they will allow you to call that fast code from your Python scripts. So we can speed up our Python programs from without learning other languages just by using this open source available code. So this is a meme in the programming community. Nobody likes to learn C. What all of us do is we learn Python. We use libraries that have C code in them, and that those libraries speed up our code. So the true chads, they do not learn C. I'll show you an example. Over here in this code block, I've defined a 3x3 matrix. For those of you who are really good at math, you will realize that this is a lower triangular matrix, zeros below the diagonal, and above the diagonal and all values above it are some integral values, non-zero values. Over here, I have defined a function that takes the transpose of the matrix. If you guys do not understand this code, that is completely fine. This is just to show you the speed difference that is available in Python and C. So take my word for it, this function takes the transpose. So over here, I print the matrix and then I print its transpose. Give it a moment while it connects to the server and the output should show up. So you can see the matrix over here, and you can see its transpose. So our transpose function works fine. Now I'm going to try to do this with a third-party library called NumPy, which I've imported over here. NumPy is a library that somebody else has written in Python, which includes C code. So if I call NumPy function, if I use NumPy to run my code, I will actually be calling C functions that someone else has written. So you can see for yourselves that this transpose function also works. It prints the same matrix. Okay, so it works for a 3x3 matrix. Now let's try this for a 1000x1000 matrix. A 3x3 matrix has 9 elements. A 1000x1000 matrix would have 1 million elements. So let this run. Over here, I have printed out the first row of the matrix. You can see it is quite large. There are 1000 elements in this because this is a 1000x1000 matrix. Let's try taking the transpose with my Python function. It takes 0.276 milliseconds. If I were to do that with NumPy, it takes 8.5 microseconds. You guys can see the time difference for yourselves. It is a whole order of 1000 off. And this is why we like to use C in the libraries that we use. It speeds up our code like crazy. If we're doing machine learning, we will have a lot of mathematical operations to do behind the scenes. If we're going to be doing all of that in Python, forget about days or months. It'll take you decades to train your machine learning models. Because we do it in C, we're able to do it a lot faster. So you guys have any questions about this? Good. No questions at all. So can I proceed with our introduction to Python? Yeah, I'll share the code once the session is over. I don't want you guys to like copy the code right now, so I'm not doing it right away. Pick out snippets of the code that you want to run or take screenshots. But don't worry, I will send the code eventually.
Yes, as Keshav mentioned, do not waste time on taking screenshots. Pay full attention to what he's teaching. We'll share the notebook after the session.
Okay, zooming on my laptop, it's at full screen. So maybe in your laptop, you guys can zoom in and out according to your resolution, your preferences. Because if I do it, it's just a hindrance for everyone. So yeah, some more boring theory. Google Colab is an online thing that we use for Python. It is awesome. That's why we're using it for today. The version of Python we're using is Python 3. You guys don't need to worry about that. Google Colab selects Python 3 by default. So yeah, once again, why Python? In Sahaay, in the software module, a lot of our work is done with machine learning. We take feed from a camera, we try to process it, extract features from it, and tell our computer to figure out what it can. We generate depth maps. We try to see how far objects are from cameras. A lot of this involves machine learning, and Python has no shortage of scientific computing and machine learning libraries in its open source ecosystem. We use NumPy, SciPy, scikit-learn, TensorFlow, PyTorch, OpenCV. All of these are very popular libraries that we use a lot in Sahaay. In this series, we're going to be teaching you NumPy and OpenCV. NumPy is a library in which you can do matrix operations very easily. They have a lot of mathematical functions. What you guys would have done in matrices in 12th on paper, it now becomes very easy to do it on a computer. OpenCV, like I said before, is an image processing library. They have a lot of features that you'll be looking at in further sessions. And yeah, Python has a huge ecosystem. Whenever we want to do something, there's a good chance that somebody else has already done it before. So we do not need to struggle. Java and C, this is the meme. Java and C++ have to make their own code for just about everything. The Python standard library has a lot of functions that you can use out of the box. So with no further delay, let's get into writing Python programs. First off, let's see how we can print we can interact with the user. The print statement is how you print stuff to the output to the console in Python. So you see here I've written a print, an open bracket and a closing bracket. And inside I've given hello world inside two quotes, two quotation marks. So when I run this, I should see hello world printed out. If I wanted to provide multiple values, then I could just give multiple sets of these texts separated by commas. These quotation marks are important. That is how I tell Python that I'm printing text. When you put stuff inside a quotation mark, it becomes a string. I will explain more about that in a while, but just stick with me here. So I'm going to run this. You can see my first line is hello world. Notice that the quotation marks did not appear. Python sees a quotation mark, realizes that we're giving it text and removes that while printing. While I print multiple values on the second line, I print A, B, C, D. You'll notice that the letters are separated by spaces.
Sir,
So
can
in
you
Python,
explain the sir, can you explain the topic slowly?
can you explain the, sorry, what was the question? Sorry.
Sir, can you explain the topic slowly? Slowly.
Okay, sorry. So yeah, I've given multiple strings here and I'm printing them all out onto the same line. So I've given it multiple values. If I wanted to print multiple values, I would separate them with commas. So you'll see A, B, C, and D are separated with commas in between. And on the second line, I get I get all four values separated by spaces. If I wanted to change the separator, here spaces are what is separating each letter. If I wanted to change that separator, give the print function an extra parameter, an extra instruction. I would set sep equal to whatever separator I want. So over here, I've given it to be two asterisks. And so you can see on the next line, I've got A, B, C, D, but separated by two asterisks. I can go one step further. You'll notice here on the next line, I've given sep is equal to /n. So I've given the same four letters A, B, C, D in quotation marks. This time I'm telling Python, use a new line as a separator. In all programming languages, if I wanted to print a blank line, that would be a /n. So a /n tells Python, stop printing here, go to the next line. So Python prints A and then it prints the separator. The separator is a /n, so it means go to the next line. So we print A, go to the next line. Print B, go to the next line. Print C and go to the next line. So has everyone understood how you would use the print statement?
Yeah, Keshav, can you actually zoom in a bit? It's hard to focus on what you're doing. Do control paste.
Okay.
Yeah, it's much better. Yeah, great.
Okay. So yeah, any questions about Python, the print and separators. Okay then. So okay, so in this code cell, I am printing two values. I'm printing twice A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So how do you guys think this would output? This would be outputted. But okay, I'm sorry, this slipped my mind. But you'll notice I've given a hashtag in some places, and after that I've written comments. So in Python, if you want to explain what you are doing to someone else, what you would do is you'd write a code comment. You would write a hashtag, and then you would write whatever explanation you want to give after that. So yeah, once I run this code cell, ignore these lines before. What do you think these two lines would output? Wait, Anangi, what is your question? I do not understand, sorry. Yeah, the comment is not compulsory. It's just a good habit to write them in your code so that other people, if they're looking at it, they will understand. Okay, yes, you will get A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H on separate lines. So to prove it, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Now I am obsessive. I do not like the new lines. So how would I change that? If I did not want Python to go to the next line, how would I tell Python, don't do that? In that case, I would use the end parameter. So you'll notice here I've given end as a semicolon. So that will tell Python print ABCD, print a semicolon, and then move directly to the next statement. Do not do anything else. So I would get ABCD semicolon, EFGH semicolon. You'll notice it's on one line this time. This is because I am not told Python to go to the next line. I have not added a slash n to that statement. If I had added a slash n, it would stop printing on that line and move on to the next. Because I've set the end parameter explicitly to the semicolon, it does not move to a new line. Is that clear? Yeah, you can use different characters to separate them. I've used semicolon and asterisk to uh, as an example. Yes, you can put anything you want in the end parameter. It can be a space. It could be multiple characters as well. It could be a new line. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4. You can put anything you want in the end parameter. Just make sure to enclose it in two quotes. Okay. So I will move on to the input function. So far, we have seen how we print stuff to the terminal. Now, how would I get input from the user? If the user wanted to tell the program something, how would I collect that input? So we use the input function. So I could call input, open parenthesis and close parenthesis. Inside the parenthesis, I would give it a prompt. What is my prompt here? Enter a number. I'm going to enter a number. So you'll see that right now the program doesn't do anything with it. We will show you how to use this as we go further, as we traverse through data types. Okay, so now we've done IO. Let's do the fun part, variables, data types, and all that. In Python, you can store data in multiple formats. I could store numerical data, I could store text data, I could store a list of values, an array of values. If I was going to store numeric data, that number could either be an integer or, sorry, or it could be a decimal. An integer, as you guys know, is a positive or negative integral value. A decimal would have a decimal point, and you'll have some fractional part. So you call integers int in Python, and you call decimals floats in Python. You can have Boolean values, called, in short, bool. A Boolean value is just a true or false value. So is the time 3:15? That would be true. Are apples yellow would be false. So you can denote such statements in Python with Boolean values by assigning them a true or a false. We have seen strings before. All of these red highlighted texts, these are strings. A string is just a sequence of characters, numbers, letters, special characters, white space, anything. If it is enclosed in double quotes, it is text, it is a string. Similarly, a string is a sequence of characters. A list is a sequence of anything. And in Python, it is denoted by a list. We also have tuples and dictionaries, but those are not really important to our for this presentation. So I will just give you a brief overview at the end. So now that we've seen what kinds of data I can use in Python, how would I work with such data? How do you store data in a Python program? You get true or false in as a boolean out in boolean when you try printing it out. And yes, Mohan, you can use an empty end. You can put nothing in the end parameter. It will not print anything at the end. So yeah, how do you guys think we store data in a Python program? Guys, first you guys sit here a minute. Kavish.
Keshav, what was your question?
Oh, how do you store data in a Python program? How would you work with
Yeah,
it?
guys, respond.
Yes, variables, exactly.
Yeah.
You would store data in a variable. A variable is just a placeholder for some value. Um, so what you would do is you would tell your Python program, I am giving you a name. Under that name, store this data that I tell you to. So what kind of name can I tell it? The name must start with a letter or an underscore. It can only contain alpha numerals and underscores, that is alphabets, numbers, and underscores. Note that your variable cannot start with a number. It can have a number somewhere in between, but it must not start with a number. You cannot give it some special words in Python like and, not, if, break. I will elaborate on this further. And while this is just convention, when you're giving it a name, if you have separate words, separate those words with underscores so that when a user is reading it, you will be able to understand what the variable is for. So advance payment amount would be separated by underscores. Large matrix that would hopefully not crash my computer. You will separate each word with an underscore. So yeah, let's look at some code again. Let's look at booleans. The statement 5 greater than 3. Is that true or false? Yeah, 5 is greater than 3. Hopefully you guys know that. So if I run this, I should get true. Notice that I'm not putting this in quotes because we use quotes only for strings. This is a boolean. So 5 greater than 3 is a boolean. If I were going to do 5 equals 3, Equals equals is an operator that basically tells you if the left value is equal to the right value. So in this case, this statement is 5 equal to 3. Would that be true or false? Yeah, 5 is clearly not equal to 3. So if I print it, I should get a false. If I were going to do 5 less than or equal to 3, this is the symbol for less than or equal to. What would I get? False. So notice in Python, false is capital F A L S E. True is capital T R U E. So keep that in mind. You guys would have studied Boolean logic at some point, right? So you would have learned about AND, OR, XOR, stuff like that. Yeah, okay. In the print statement, if I gave it quotations around my statement, it would be treated as text. I specified this. Here I am not giving the quotations because I want it to be treated as a Boolean. If I give it the quotation, Python will automatically interpret it as a text, as strings. Yes, okay. So I have value true or false. What would be the output? True. True or false is true. The OR operator would tell you true if any one of the values is true. What about the value of not true? False. So you guys will notice here, look at these statements. These are very similar. This is very similar to English. You could read it and figure out what is going on. True and false. What would it be? True and false would be false. So this is why Python is so easy to use. It is completely English throughout. Okay, so let's look at the last statement here. True or false and false. What would it be? Can someone tell me why? Some of you guys have said false and some of you guys have said true. Why am I getting true? Okay, left to right is not. Yes, so there's a Python follows a precedence of operators. You guys know what BODMAS is, right? First we do brackets and then division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. Yeah, so the operator precedence here is first we evaluate false and false. False and false is false. So I'll just replace that now. So the innermost expression evaluated to false. And then when I OR that, true or false, true or false is true. So my final expression is true. So yeah, this operator precedence is important. What I always do is I always get confused with operator precedence. So I just use brackets liberally. Whenever I'm not sure, use a bracket to tell Python which one should have more precedence. And that is something I would recommend you guys also try out as well, because the precedence is a little bit difficult to memorize. Okay, so now that's it for Booleans. Now let's look at numbers, integers and floats, what everything we work with. This is how you declare variables in Python. I give Python the variable name. I say set it equal to the value on the right side. So I am setting num1 to 18. I'm setting num2 to 5. If I did num1 plus num2, what should I get? Okay, if the T in true is small, Python would raise a syntax error. This is important. Python is case sensitive. It should be capital T. And yes, 5 plus 18 is 23. So if I run this, I would get 23. What if I did multiplication? Five into 18 is 90. So I should get 19. Okay. If one of you has a question, I can see a hand. Yes, Ala Rakia Datwa. What? And Hanok. Wow. One of you guys can unmute and ask.
Adalekya, unmute and ask what you want to ask. Or Hannah Peters, 18. Unmute and ask what you want to ask.
He is unmuted. I cannot hear him for some reason.
Or put it up in text. We'll look at that. We are not able to hear you.
If my video is buffering for you guys should be able to turn off incoming video in Teams. Wait, Asmita, can you tell me when they send the message in the chat? I will go on to the next.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that is it for
Saying your screen is
multiplication.
not visible. Adalekya, we are able to see Keshav's screen. Yeah, everyone else is able to see, right? Keshav's screen. Just respond with a yes or no. Yeah, okay, cool. Try maybe rejoining the meeting. Adalekya. No. You try rejoining the meeting. Adalekya, because everyone else can see. Keshav, you continue with the session.
Okay. Okay, so that's it for multiplication. Now in Python, we have two kinds of division: floor division and regular division. So when you guys are doing long division, you guys would stop when your remainder is less than your divisor, right? And so your quotient will be an integer. So if I wanted to simulate that, I would use a double backslash. So I'm telling Python, do long division and give me the quotient. So 18 by 5, the quotient should be 3. If I wanted the remainder, I would do a percentage symbol. The percentage symbol is the modulus operator. It will give me the remainder when I divide 18 by 5. The remainder is also 3. What if I wanted the quotient in decimal form, like precise? I wanted the exact decimal. So then I would only use the single backslash. The double backslash is called the floor division. A single backslash, we generally refer to it as the floating point division. So when I run this, I should get 3.6, that is 18 by 5. So depending on the output that I want, I can choose my division symbol. If I want an integer quotient, I will choose the floor division. If I want the precise decimal, I will use the floating point division operator. So is that clear for everyone? Yeah, no doubts, right? Okay. So, okay, you want me to repeat? So In Python, there are two kinds of division. If I want the exact decimal while dividing, I can use a single backslash that is called the floating point division, and I will get 3.6. If I wanted an integral quotient, I would give it the double backslash that is called the floor division. And when I run it, I will only get 3. That is the quotient when I do long division. If I want the remainder, I'll use the modulus operator, which is a percentage. Okay. So that those are the kind of operations we can do with numbers. Oh, I forgot the exponentiation. Very important. Num1 power num2. We don't use the exponent symbol. In Python, we use a double multiplication symbol. So that would be 18. That would be 18 power 5, which is some very large number. I have no clue if this is correct or not. So yeah, that's it for numeric operations. Now let's take a quick peek at something interesting for numerical types of data. Let's say I gave Python a very, very large integer. So this is like what, 20 digits at least. When I run it, Python that large integer again. No surprises there. This is what we expect. What if I were to do the same with a floating point? So I have pretty much the same integral value, and then I just have a 0.234. So when I run that, I get 2.34, 234, 234, 234, 234, 25 into 10 power 47. So this e plus 47 is just in scientific notation into 10 power 47. You'll notice it seems like Python is rounding it off, but that is a very weird round off, right? It should have, if we were going to round it off, it should have been 20, not 25. Sorry, 23, not 25. Because 234 would round off to 23. So why is it rounding it off incorrectly? I'll explain. Let's try dividing this by some very large power of 10. Okay. I get 234, 234, 234, 23.4234, 28. Once again, seemingly a round off error. The last decimal is off by a little bit, right? It should be 23. Instead, it's 28. The issue is with your computer. In your computer, it is impossible to store all decimals with 100% accuracy. The way we store numbers in our computer in binary, it is not possible to represent numbers like these to complete precision. So when you print out numbers like this, at the end, you will see some inaccuracies. It becomes crazier. Let's take the sum of 0.1 plus 0.2 and store it in a variable called float sum. If I print out float sum, what should I get? What should I get if I add 0.1 plus 0.2? Yeah, I should get 0.3, right? So float sum should be 0.3. And when I check whether float sum is equal to 0.3, remember this is the equal to check. It checks whether the left side value is equal to the right side value. So I should get, what should I get for this Boolean expression? I should get true. Now wait for your minds to be blown. It is false. Once again, because Python cannot store the result of this decimal addition in memory completely accurately. So you will see 0.300004. It should have been 0. It's a 4 because we cannot store it accurately. And when I check whether it's equal to 0.3, it is not. So you guys have to be careful when you're using floats in any programming language. Do not blindly assume that one float will be equal to another if you take a different series of steps to arrive at the same answer. So be careful when you're working with floats. Okay, so now let's look at strings. Put very simply, strings are just text. I'm setting a variable text to be equal to hello in quotes. You'll see the quotes again. The quotes imply that whatever is in between is a string. So if I print text, I should get hello. Right? What if I wanted to convert something to a string? In that case, I would wrap it around. I would put that value inside two parentheses, and I would precede it with an str. Str is short for string in Python. So if I run that, it gives me true in quotes. You'll notice these are single quotes. Python does not make distinctions between quotes. Even I can use single quotes or I could use double quotes. It's just that I need to be consistent with the quotation I use. Do not, like in the middle of a string, do not suddenly use single quotes when you should have been using double quotes. Okay. So when I take input from a user, I'm over here, I'm telling the user enter a number. I'm storing it in the variable num. So the input function takes input, returns it, and that value is stored in the variable num. I am printing num. So 56. It prints out 56. But you guys always remember this. The input function, even though I told the user to enter a number, Python will still store it as a string. The input function always returns a string. So I'm going to print the type of this number. The type is a Python function that tells you what data type the given data is. So when I print the type of the data, you will see it is of class string, str for string. If I wanted to convert it to an integer, I would have to do, I'm going to create another variable, num int. So similar to how I converted true to a string just by wrapping to this str, I'm converting this input value to an integer just by wrapping it with the int and a parenthesis. So now when I run this, sorry, my bad. I should actually change this variable to num int. So now I'm entering 56. The type of num int is an integer. So now I can do my regular numerical operations on it. Has everyone understood that about input? Now, Python does not automatically detect your data type. There is format that you have to follow. Strings have to be enclosed in quotes. Booleans have to be true or false. Numbers, integers, you type in numbers. Integer, float, you will type in numbers with a decimal point in between. Always be careful with your data types. Also, any doubts, guys? Int is a data type. There Python will show it to you as a class because if you go look at the source code for Python, it will be defined as a class. That is just the way Python is written. We're not getting into that right now. Okay. If you want me to repeat, the input function, the input function always gives you a string. If you wanted to convert it to an integer, you would have to wrap it with an int, a call to int and parentheses around it. So then you will get an integer. Or if I wanted a decimal, if I wanted a float, I would put float. So I will get a string. It is up to you to convert it to whatever data type you want. So always make sure to do that. So now when you print type of num int, it should show you class int, meaning it's an integer. Now session is still 4. we won't extend it. We don't want to clash with anything else. Okay, so any doubts? Okay, then I will move on to the next topic, the last data type that we will look at in detail, lists. Um, a list is just a sequence of values. So you'll notice here I've defined a variable numbers and I've given it a sequence of integers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I'm defining a list, I need to put it inside square brackets and separate each value with a comma. If I wanted to define array of strings, I would put strings instead of numbers, colon, quotes A, quotes B, inside quotes X, inside quotes Y, and then A, B, C, D. A list does not have to have the same type inside it. So I can mix all data types. You'll notice over here, this is a very weird list. I have a string, I have an integer, I have a boolean, I have another string, and then I have a floating point. So Python does not enforce this one data type in the list rule. You can put anything you like inside the list. Just keep track of what is what the data type. Lists are sequences of values. I could have an empty sequence as well. And in that case, what I would do is I would just assign it. I would just give it a square bracket with nothing inside it. Let's arrays lists have this cool operation called concatenation, where I can take one list, combine it with another list, just with an addition symbol in between. So when I run this, I see a list with 4 elements. I start out with a list of 2 elements, 1, 2, and another 2 element list, hello world. When I run it, when I concatenate it, Python takes these 2 lists and merges them together. So I will get one list of 4 elements in the order that I gave it. So the first list comes first, the second list will come in the end. And the order inside is also preserved. Okay, this topic is very important, so please make sure you guys understand this thoroughly. We will be working with list indices a lot in the future. In Python assigns indexes to each element of a list. So you can see here I have a list: code, Fave tutor, machine learning, students, studies, Java, Python. All of these are strings and I have in total 7 elements. So Python, behind the scenes, it will assign a number to each element. So the first element will be 0, the second element will be 1, the third element will be 2, fourth will be 3, and so on. You notice that we count from 0. This is a feature across all programming languages. We always start indexing from 0. So if I wanted to access, say, the element at index 2, what I would do is I would say array, open square brackets, and inside the square brackets, put whatever index I want. So now ignore these last 2 lines for now. What would print array of 0 give me? Okay, in Python, we call arrays lists. So I will refer to both interchangeably. So I will say list or I will say array, but what I mean is list. Yeah, so what does array of 0 give me? Array, okay, ignore the negative indices for now, ignore the second row, but yeah, I should get code. So, okay, similarly, what would array of 1 give me? Have tutor, yes. Remember, it's a string, so the quotes. So when I run this on each line, I should get the first line, I should get the 0th element. Second line, I should get the first element. Third line, I'll get the second element, and the fourth line, I'll get the third element. So code, Fave Tutor, machine learning students. Now, over here, we started counting from the left. What if I wanted to start counting from the right? So what if I wanted to go from Python, then Java, then studies, students? In that case, we would just assign our index a negative symbol and we will start counting from the right. So -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7. Note, this is important. Negative indexes do not start from 0. They start from -1 because it makes no sense to write -0, right? -0 is the same as 0. So we start negative indexes from -1 and we go up till the leftmost value. So over here, I'm printing array of -1 and array of -2. What should my output be? Like, what are the two extra lines that I should get? Yeah, Python would be the first thing, and Java would be my second line. So to confirm that, you guys are right. We get Python and Java. So with indexing, I can extract one element from an array. How would I extract more? In that case, I would use multiple indexes. So let me delete this bit of code. You'll notice now I've put array square braces 1 to 5. 1:5. This tells Python start from index 1, give me every value from index 1 up to index 5, include 1, but do not include 5. So it is inclusive of the first value, exclusive of the last value. So over here, I would get 1, 2, 3, and 4. That is Fave Tutor, machine learning, students, and studies. So to confirm that, I've gotten indexes 1 to 4. And notice that this is returned as a list. So I had a list to start with. I asked for multiple values. So I am getting a list to end with. I would encourage you guys to generate your own sample list create some random list in your own collab notebooks. Try write the same bit of code and try changing the numbers. See what happens. See if you get the program to error. Figure out what errors occur. Google more about indexing and slicing. So this is something that you will be using a lot in NumPy. So make sure you explore this in detail. Yeah, you guys will remember above that I said, okay, actually before that, you guys have any doubts? No doubts. Okay, then I can move on. So no doubts at all. Anybody? You guys can raise your hands and unmute. List slicing. Yeah, so if I wanted to capture multiple values from the list, I would tell Python the first index and the last index. The last index is exclusive. So if I wanted up till 4, I would tell Python, give me till 5, and Python will stop at 4. But the first index is inclusive. So if I want index 1, I will have to tell Python 1. So 1 to 5 gives me indexes 1, 2, 3, and 4. Is that clear? Yeah. The skip is something I want you guys to research. That is something interesting. I would rather you guys found out on your own. Okay, so you guys would remember up above, I told you guys there are two more data types, tuples and dictionaries. We will not touch them at all in this lecture series because it is not relevant to the to what we're teaching. So a tuple is pretty much again a list. You separate values in commas, but this time you put it in parentheses instead of square brackets. So these are very similar to lists, but there are some nuances involved. There are subtle differences. We're not going to go into that right now. A dictionary is a mapping of keys to values. So you'll notice here, I've created a variable person and I've opened curly braces and closed them. I've assigned Keshav to name, 19 to age, and IITM to college. So I have mapped these values, Keshav 19 and IITM, to some keys, name, age, college. This is useful when I'm collecting a lot of data and I need some standardized format to store it all in. Okay, so any doubts at all about data types, or can we move on to flow control? Type coercion is again something you should research, Sujin. I'm not. If I taught everything in this session, it would be boring. You guys can research and find out stuff. So any doubts at all? Okay, then I will move on to flow control. Okay, so in Python, based on what in a programming language, let's say you are writing a bit of code, you ask the user what their age is. If their age is below 18, you would tell them you were not eligible to vote. If their age is 18 or above, you would tell them you are eligible to vote. You will give them the details on how to register to vote, what political parties are contesting the election, when the election is, etc. So based on some input, based on some external factor, I want my program to either take one path and go this way, or I want it to take a hard diversion and go another way. So we do that with flow control. We tell the program how to move ahead based on these factors. In Python, we have conditional statements and loops to perform flow control. So what are conditional statements? Conditional statements basically execute if a given condition is true. So very broadly, I have the if statement, the if else statement, and the if elif else statement. The if statement. So what I would do is I would write a block of code like this, and after each thing, after if and after the elif and after the not after the else, I would give it a statement, and whichever statement is true, that branch of code will execute. So if the first statement is true, execute a block of code. If it is not true, then look at the next statement. If that is true, execute the block of code I give there. If even that is not true, then execute something else. So I will show you an example. You guys, I've probably confused you all. So let's do an example. I'm getting input from the user to enter a number. Notice that I'm converting to an integer. If that number is greater than 20, I am printing number is greater than 20. Elif num equals 20. Elif is just a shorthand notation of else if. in Python we would write elif if we want to say else if. So if number is not greater than 20, else if number is equal to 20, then print the statement. Else both the previous statements are false. Print number is less than 20. So do you guys understand the flow of the program? Depending on the value of the number, one of these three statements will be executed. Note that I have, for some reason, I have given two spaces over here in front of these print statements. So that is to tell Python, if this statement is true, execute everything with that is below this block, and we define blocks with indentation. So a block of code has an indentation of a fixed number of spaces. So this is one block of code. This is another block of code. I could print this twice, just or thrice, just for the sake of it. So you'll notice each time I'm giving these two spaces indentation, that is to tell Python these three lines of code are for this elif and not for anything else. So if I were to remove the indentation, it would mean that the if else elif statement is done and we're moving on to the next part of the program. So do you guys have questions about? I will run this program. Okay, I will run this program and then we will finish off the session. So I'm entering a number. I'm going to give it 24. So okay, so now number is 24. If number greater than 20, this statement is true. So it will print number greater than 20 and move on. So since this statement was true, Python will not even bother executing this code, because we told Python else if or else. Only if the first statement was not true, come and check this. What if I gave it a different value? So 20, I'll give it. So 20 is clearly not greater than 20. So it does not execute this first line. It now checks the second condition. Is the number equal to 20? And it is equal to 20. So it will execute the block of code under that. Remember, the indentation defines the block of code. So now so it'll print number is equal to 23 times. And it will not execute this last two lines because this statement was satisfied. If I were to give it a different number, let's say 15, it first checks the first statement, that is false. The second statement is also clearly false. 15 is not equal to 20. And so so I've told Python, if both of these statements are false, execute whatever is under the else statement. So it prints out number is less than 20. You guys have doubts in this? Any doubts in flow control, anything and all? Okay, so I have not finished flow control, but over here at the very bottom, I have some resources. I will send these resources to you guys in the group. Please do feel free to go through that. We will continue. We will pick up from here in the next session. But in the gap that you have in these 2 days, make sure to go through these resources that I send you. Read up on concepts you are not clear about. Read up about the stuff I told you to research about, slicing, and other stuff. So I will send these resources in the group. Yes, but I will end.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining the session. I hope you guys learned something new in design thinking and in software Python. And sorry about the technical problems that came up in the beginning. So yeah, any feedback that you have on the session, put it up, no, in the chat or unmute and let us know what you thought about the session. If you have any feedback, feel free to put it up in the chat. You guys can leave now. Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.
Also, if you have any doubts, you can feel free to DM us or put it in the group.
Yes, you guys can use the WhatsApp
Ma'am,
group for doubts.
ma'am,
Okay,
please, can you solve the
Udvav,
lagging problem?
that sorry.
Can you please solve the lagging problem? It's lagging a lot. Right? From my
Or
end, it's
Asmita,
a problem.
Is it lagging for everyone?
No, it's actually quite good for everyone.
Sometimes it
Maybe
is
try
lagging
checking the
actually.
internet connection from your side.
okay, to be fair, I am also on data. We have not had internet for a while, so do excuse me for that.
I think I used the Microsoft Teams for the first time. That's why.
Okay. Okay, Udvav, your floating point issue, that is that is uh, it doesn't occur with all floating points. Some of them you will see this issue very well. In some cases, Python will detect the issue and correct it itself. Python tries to resolve that in the background. So point one plus point two is a pretty popular example. That is why I gave it. With point one and point six, you're not getting it. So Python probably detects that on its own.
Hello.
Yes, hi.
Yeah, hi. I have a doubt actually. How do you manage all these files with Google Colab? So can you tell me how to, how to just organize everything, how to create proper sequence under the one file and this, how to manage? Do you get me actually?
No, I don't understand. Sorry.
Actually, I have, can you tell me how you organized all that files and in Google Colab?
Yeah, I have everything I did was in one file. I just create different cells, different blocks of code, and I can run them individually.
So how to that create a file and how to just do the work under it?
Yeah, so go to the link we sent in the channel, collab.research.google.com. You should see this
Yeah.
pop-up that prompts you to either select an existing notebook or create a new notebook. Hit new notebook if you don't have an existing one, and you should be able to code as I did today.
Yeah, I did it, but your file is under proper name and all that stuff. Everything is so organized. So how to do that? And
But
all
that
the things are under
on the left, on the topmost, you should see the file name. You can just click it and edit it. Um,
file and edit.
no, you should see the name right below the search bar. You can just click that and change the name.
It is untitled. Okay, 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 okay. And we can create many sections under that file. No.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's
No,
clear actually.
no, yeah, that's all. Or
Yeah, yeah. That's all. Anyone else? Any other doubts? We have 100 people left in the meeting. Do you guys have any doubts? Skip attendance, anything you can do.
no, we
Uh,
took attendance in the background, so you probably
yeah,
showed
yeah,
up
yeah.
notebook. Yeah, I will share the collab notebook in a bit. As well as end, then no doubts.
Ma'am, the assignment,
Yeah, assignment we'll send it in a bit.
so we do in the Google Colab.
You will have to do your assignment in Google Colab. There are instructions in the assignment, so don't worry.
Yeah, we'll provide all the details in step by step, how you have to submit and everything. Also, when you're
Deadline.
submitting the assignment, make sure that you submit through your registered email.
It is a Google form.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, ma'am, send the updates in WhatsApp also. Uh,
Yeah, we will send everything both here and in the group and the channel.
because notifications in WhatsApp are quite frequent.
We'll send it in both the Innovate X group. There is a channel, so if you're not in the group, we'll send it in the channel as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Shall we leave the meeting?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
can
you can
leave.
leave the meeting. Anyone who doesn't have doubts can leave the meeting.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am. I am Alec. I am having a one doubt. Can I ask?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Hello. I was thinking that if someone couldn't do the class regularly, like he's doing two classes and he's not able to join the third class, so will he and couldn't complete the course on time? So will he get assistance from your side if the course duration is extended? Matlab, if the course duration he doesn't follow, is doing his in his own pace. So will he get support from your side actually?
Can you have to have 80% attendance, you know about that rule, right?
Oh, acha, 80% is mandatory actually for every
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
You won't have
classes.
slot clashes because our session, if you subscribe to Sahai's summer school, you wouldn't have been able to subscribe to any other session in this slot.
So Monday, Wednesday,
Yeah,
Friday, in this time, you will not have any other classes. The next class should be like 4:30 or something, I think.
yeah.
So there will be gaps in between.
Actually, one if someone delays to do his task or assignments or projects, so will it be okay, or I have to uh, something?
No, no, we'll give
We
you enough
we
time. Okay.
will
The
give you ample
deadlines will be
time.
set such that you will be able to do it. We have mentioned criteria for certificate, right? You have to do 5 out of the 8 mini tasks.
Yes,
Five
yes,
out of
yes.
eight is not a very harsh number. You will be able to do all of them.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, Shristi, you can use an unregistered mail ID for the assignment. We will give you instructions about that in the assignment itself, not an issue.
Also, again, attendance was not taken. We are downloading the participant sheet. It was taken in the background. So it would have gotten updated. Harvey 70355 has asked a doubt, right?
No?
Hi, go on.
Yeah, yeah, you can leave. If you have
Yeah, that's
doubts,
all.
ask them,
You
or
guys can
else you can
leave.
leave. Okay, guys. Looks like you guys don't have any more doubts. We'll end the meeting now. Thank you for joining the first session. Hope to see you day after tomorrow. Bye bye. Yeah, SS89, I'm good. Where are you from? I'm repeating again, attendance is done. We took it in the background. There is no separate link for attendance. Yeah, okay, guys, we'll wrap up. Bye bye.